Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of the F1 Debate Show. My name is LC.
And my name is JT.
Yes, and welcome to our 2016 Bahrain Grand Prix review. Now, it was an unbelievable second race in the desert, the second race of the 2016 Formula 1 season, and it went off with a bang. The winner was Nico Rosberg, the winner of the Australian Grand Prix, 6 consecutive wins for him in his career, which is fantastic, obviously leading on from the races of last season as well, so fantastic for him. It was also 2 Mercedes on the podium, a fantastic drive from Kimi Raikkonen, but we're going to start with the driver of my driver of the race, and I assume JT's driver of the race, Belgian driver, standing drive for McLaren, Stoffel van Dorn.
Oh, absolutely amazing drive by him. I mean, obviously, massive, a bit of pressure on him as well because it was sort of a last-minute thing. I mean, he's in, I think it's Super Formula over in Japan. On Thursday he was testing for their car. The next minute he's got to fly over to Bahrain and get prepared for practice and everything. And obviously he hasn't had a lot of time to learn the car and stuff like that. I'm gathering he hasn't done as much testing in it. But, I mean, what a superb job he did on Sunday. Well, all weekend, to be fair. He did a really fantastic job.
He did absolutely fantastic. Now, his teammate Jenson Button didn't have a very good race, had a retirement from Earth's failure, as I gather. So it wasn't very good for him. Obviously, Fernando Alonso sat on the sidelines, but unbelievable impression that he's given. Now, I've been saying in previous races, and actually I predicted Julian Palmer would be in Formula 1 this year, so I'm very proud, and it's going well. And myself and JT said that Stoffel will be out to impress this race, and he's definitely done that. Now, I mean, if I was Ron Dennis, I would sign him for next year, and obviously the only thing, I'd sign him immediately, but obviously it's what to do with those two drivers. Now, it's not nailed down in what they're going to do. And by the way, I hope no one fell for the April Fool's Fernando's going to Renault.
I must admit I did, because I forgot it was April Fool's Day. And I looked at it and I'm going, hang on, that can't be right. Because there was two, wasn't there? There was the Fernando to Renault and Fernando back to Ferrari.
I fell for that one, yeah.
And I'm going, well, hang on, it's going to be one race, and they can't judge those two out. And then obviously it was April Fool's, and I was like, oh. Right.
I mean, they could do that. I mean, obviously people have made comebacks into Formula One and into Ferrari and stuff like that. But
I mean, they could, but I mean, even if that was true, it would be daft for Renault just to judge K-Mag and Palmer by like one race. You know what I mean? So,
it would. I don't think Renault could do it. I don't think Ferrari could do it. And also, I mean, they've got Ferrari. They've got two brilliant drivers. Anyway, but let's move on from that, because obviously that's not happening. Even though JT has said before that Renault obviously very interested in having Fernando Alonso. Yeah. He went to Renault, won his 2 world championships, and went to McLaren and went back to Renault. Could he go from Ferrari to McLaren, have a terrible time at McLaren, which he has had and he is having, and then go back to Renault? But that's a long shot, and we'll talk about that later on. Now, the next driver I want to talk about, who's done a fantastic job, is Romain Grosjean. 100% now. He, in his Haas, I mean, no one assumes what they're going to be like, because no one's seen them out on the track. They're a brand new team, like Toyota were in 2002. Now, as I've said in the previous videos, and I'm very proud of finding this fact, Mika Salo in the Toyota in 2002 in Melbourne, I think, or the first race of the season, yes, in Melbourne, scored his very first points on the team, and that was carried through the ages, and then broken by now Haas, who obviously, as you say, points in Melbourne, now points in points in Bahrain. Absolutely fantastic drive by him. Unfortunately, Esteban Gutierrez had his second retirement of the season, his second straight retirement, not from a crash this time. But I mean, he is a driver who is definitely moving up now. Over the winter, Peter was saying that he wants to go there. His main goal for going to Haas is to go to Ferrari. Now, I was speculating that. I was thinking it's a move to just a new team. You know, he's left Lotus because they're moving into Renault, but he still could have stayed at Renault. Moving from Lotus to Haas is just a new venture for him. He wasn't looking at a drive for Ferrari. But I'll tell you something, if he's not looking for a drive for Ferrari, he could get it, because Kimi Raikkonen may be out of the door. The Finn might be finished. And so he might be gone. He might go to NASCAR next year, which is maybe looking, like a good venture for him. Obviously, the Iceman's not done with his motor racing career. So Roman could possibly, potentially go to Ferrari if he... I mean, this is his second race, and he's been in the points for 2 consecutive times. He is the only one keeping Haas alive, and it's amazing, JT. So how would you say the race went for Haas as a team, and then Roman as a driver?
Overall, it was fantastic because that pace of the Haas was just second to none. I mean, in the straight, it caught the likes of Red Bull, the Williams, the Force Indias, who had a terrible race. And Roman Grosjean stole the show. Unfortunate for Esteban Gutierrez, another retirement, which is a bit unfortunate. And he hasn't had the chance to actually prove himself what he can really do. He had the same situation at Sauber in 2013. It took him a long time to score his first points with Sauber in 2013. But and obviously they're in a similar sort of situation this time. They have got the car. It's just, it brings me back to like some previous situations that I've had. A bit like Pastor Maldonado, the one and only, who it was with Williams in 2012, and he had a brilliant car. You know, probably the best that they had at that time in recent times. But then he had loads of retirement, so he never had the chance to actually prove what he was worth. A bit like Esteban Gutierrez at the moment. But I believe his luck will change. It is 2 races in. Obviously, the first one was a bit unfortunate. The second one, you know, technical problem, what can you do? But, I mean, Roman Grosjean, from a driver who everybody was like, oh, you know, he shouldn't be in Formula 1, he's dangerous, he's this, he's that. You know, you could almost say that, I mean, maybe he's a bit too old, but a one-time world champion, if he were to get the jump to Ferrari, maybe that's a bit unlikely because you've got the likes of Verline, Verstappen, Van Dorn himself, obviously coming through the ranks, so maybe it is a little bit too late for Grosjean. But I mean, I'm amazed about how much Haas have progressed throughout the course of the winter. I mean, obviously NASCAR background, not much into Formula One. I mean, at this present time, they are getting the Team of the Season award without a doubt. Roman Grosjean, driver of the season so far.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I would so 100% agree with you. I only said Stoffel Van Dorn as my driver because he was a brand new driver for this weekend. But yeah, Roman Grosjean is back.
You know, he's in the ranks. He's in the mix to get a big drive with maybe McLaren.
He is. I mean, it doesn't have to be McLaren. I mean, obviously, and this is going to be. I mean, we talked about it in Australia in the preview and review. It's been a big topic about obviously drivers wanting to go to different teams. They don't have to follow. They don't have to almost go to their adult team. You know, as an example, Toro Rosso to Red Bull. They can go from Toro Rosso to Ferrari, or make the jumps to different things. So it could be that he goes to a different team if McLaren aren't ready to let go of their 2 drivers. But in my opinion, and I'll keep saying this through the season, unless they progress, their 2 drivers are. Well, more so Fernando Alonso, but Jenson and Fernando have run their time at McLaren. But again, we'll move on to that later on. Now, next team to discuss is Toro Rosso. Now, obviously, Max and Carlos having their fight in Australia. Now, it's no multi-21. I mean, it's no Vettel and Webber. You know, they're having. It's almost like they're not allowed to do that as well and they haven't got the authority because they haven't been in Formula One for that long. They've only been in for one season or one one season in a few laps before it kicked off. Now, obviously, Sainz had a retirement in Bahrain. Max had a fantastic race. Absolutely fantastic for him. He's not a rookie anymore. I wouldn't look at Max and say he's a rookie. I think he's in the transition between rookie and like pro, like like a normal driver in Formula One, someone who's been established, someone who's there, a bit like someone like Nico Hülkenberg. So not at a big team yet, but he's been in Formula One. He's got the experience that no one can say that he's a starter or he's a small driver or whatever. I mean,
definitely. I mean, Max Verstappen was pushing for that podium place. I mean, he was at 4th at one point, but then I think he was getting caught by Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, he did have a good race as well.
Daniel had a good race, yeah.
Obviously, getting caught by him, so he moved down a couple of places. But I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, Max could get this podium, but obviously that wasn't to turn out. He must get a podium this season. I mean, but whether it be that best chance it will be at Monaco, that's probably his best chance of getting a podium. Yeah. Because anything can happen there. Very difficult to overtake. Max proved he can overtake there. As I was saying, very talented driver. Very unlucky to not getting a podium or not even get higher. But I mean, sixth place is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, Carlos Sainz didn't finish the race, but I believe his luck will change. A bit like Esteban Gutierrez. Toro Rosso will start scoring points throughout the course of the season. We've got 2 very, very talented drivers in Sainz and Verstappen. And Max Verstappen, had a very strong race. Chose the strategy well. His
He
tyres,
did.
pit stops were all fine. Strategy were fine.
Yeah.
Everything was spot on for him, which is why he got him elevated up. Which obviously, with Sainz being out, they concentrated more on Max, trying to see how far he can show his talent. 6th place, fantastic.
Yeah. Now, just as you mentioned there, obviously Toro Rosso doing a fantastic job. Force India now, obviously JT's been saying that Force India are a team to do amazing in the desert, and they have before. They've done fantastic before. Now, Force India were a team to let go. I mean, see, Checo had his run in lap 2, turn 1. Much like Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton did in the previous lap. And then apart from that, they weren't mentioned. Neither Checo or Nico Hulkenberg weren't really mentioned until the end of the race. That's because they were a lazy team. During Barcelona winter testing, JT had an award for the laziest team, and now I'd give it to Force India. Obviously, more so that they're a midfield team.
Laziest team of the weekend goes to Force India.
It does. I mean, obviously, Sauber. I mean, it's not like they didn't get a mention because they were maybe a bit lazy. But obviously, Force India are a team now that are established, and they had almost like a legacy. They had something to prove it, and they didn't, which is a real shame because obviously, that the Bahrain circuit's always helped them in the past, which is a shame. Obviously, as I say, the Saubers not having a great race, not being. I mean, they did. They were embroiled in a few battles, but they weren't really a standout team. But now JT's going to go into a team, Manor, which really impressed, especially for the young German DTM world champion.
I mean, jumping straight in with Pascal Wehrlein, I mean, he had them Force Indias and them Saubers in his back pocket. I mean, did you see how competitive he was? I mean, straight line speed of that Manor was, I mean, amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, you had Kevin Magnussen behind him throughout the majority of the race, and he was complaining on the team radio, I can't catch him. I can't catch him in the straight. The corners, that was his best chance. Because I'd probably seen the Renault isn't as quick in the straight line as most cars are. But with Manor having Mercedes power, they've got that straight line advantage, like what Mercedes customers have. And that proved to be Pascal's advantage, and obviously showing off his skill by defending bigger and better teams to finish P13. Haryanto, I don't think he finished the race. I think he had a retirement at some point. But, I mean, Pascal Wehrlein definitely showed that Manor have made progression since last season. Brand new car, brand new staff as well. Very experienced. Some former Ferrari people are in at the moment. And to be fair, very, 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 very impressed by them so far. I mean, I believe maybe will they score points? As like I said before in the previous episodes, that they will have to expect the front teams like Sauber, Toro Rosso, Renault to fall off the pace to then get them up there as loads of retirement, safety cars, play their strategy well, stuff like that. A lot of calculations to work out because they don't have the pace to be up there. But I mean, absolutely fantastic by Pascal Wehrlein. If Van Dorn hadn't have raced in that Grand Prix, I think me and LC would have given that Driver of the Day award to Pascal Wehrlein.
Oh, most definitely, he's a driver who had everything to prove. Yes, in that weekend, as you said, JT, he was the second driver for the most to prove. Yeah, if Stoffel wasn't in the race, Pascal would have got it because he's brand new into Formula One. He had loads to prove, and he did it. Now, obviously, in terms of we all like a bit of controversy, don't we? In Formula One, and now obviously Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton's collision into turn 1. Now, obviously Lewis came back, got on, in the podium. Valtteri Bottas had a good race, but now I think it's a racing incident, and I hope they don't read too much into it. But I mean, you know what the FIA are like, they're always taking matters into consideration. Now, Bottas was given a drive-through penalty in the race, but they're still looking into it now, and that's when you go on the Formula website. That's what's there. Bottas is getting looked into, and I'm like, no way. And actually, just before I hand over to see what JT thinks about it, just on that other topic, Kevin Magnussen of Renault was handed I'm not sure what he got, but obviously it was definitely a hefty penalty. I think it was starting from the pit lane.
He started from the back.
Started from the back for running past a red light in the pit lane. Now, obviously, obviously the commentary when I was watching the race that were from ex-drivers, it was saying that you should all be vigilant of the red light. Now I think that's quite harsh because he was coming into the pits for an FIA weighing to get the car weighed. The scales were there. That the on point, where he was supposed to stop was there. And then there's this red light. Now it's almost like a bit like getting. It's almost like your parents saying "come here," and then when you open the door to go and see them, pushing you out the way, and then keep saying "come in," and then keep pushing you out the door. It's like, what does he do? Does he stop or does he keep going now? He should have kept going. I mean, that the FIA said that he's coming in, but then they give him a massive hefty penalty, like what's the word? Anyway, but I mean, they knock him back so far, to make him struggle for the race, knowing that he's a newish driver. He's been in Formula One a season in 14. Why do this? And obviously, just as JT said in the last time about money, and I mean, do you know what? I can't even keep track of the things that are ruining Formula One. Is this ruining Formula One? The extensive rules and regulations that this FIA have got to chuck into Formula One, JT?
I mean, it's one of those situations of where do you start? I mean, for starters, qualifying is an absolute mess right now. Thinking about changing it to this double lap aggregate time where you've got to do 2 laps and you add them times together, and I'm like, why can't you just keep it simple?
I know.
They're not going to revert to what it was last season.
I know, it's
simple. I mean, Formula One. The thing is though now, as me and Elsie will be doing, like a series of basically F1 for beginners for those who want to get in F1. But the problem is now is that you've got things like this where the fans are going, like new F1 fans are going, I don't understand what's going on. They're like, so their head is muffled at the moment. Us F1 fans are like, right, okay, we'll get there, but we don't quite understand it. But I was like, new F1 fans would be like, well, that's too complicated for me. I'm going to watch MotoGP or NASCAR or whatever. Don't go watch NASCAR, please.
NASCAR.
But I mean that's going to get people away from Formula One, which is obviously it's a big sport, which is again ruining the sport. I mean, qualifying is one. Obviously, the lack of engines in recent times, haven't got the noise, haven't got the power.
No.
Mercedes dominating again. It's not competitive, apart from at the back of the grid. But new F1 fans coming in, they don't want to sit back at the grid. They want to. All they know is probably Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, perhaps. They don't know like Gutierrez, Grosjean, Verline, drivers like that. But going back to what you were saying about Kevin Magnussen, I never seen the situation. I didn't see it. But what I've seen by comments was that it was absurd about what the FIA did to him, because it was a bit like as like Elsie said, what could he do?
Yeah.
And again, back to this rules and regulations of stuff. I mean, it's really so frustrating to talk about. You want to like go mad about it, and you want to get Bernie Eccleston like headbutting him, because I seen something today where it said Bernie said F1 drivers should not be able to talk, which means communicate with their engineers at all.
Yeah.
Now, new rules came in this season that you can't communicate with the engineer. The engineer can't communicate with the driver unless something's really critical on the car. Like I seen on the weekend that when they were explaining it about the brakes, for example, if they get really, really hot, to the point where they're going to basically fail, then they have to say, look, cool your brakes, so they get extremely hot.
Yeah.
But basically what Bernie is saying is that, right, if your brakes fail, you're going to hit that wall, you're going to get injured.
It's mad. Unbelievable.
At the end of the day, and that is wrong. That is so wrong. It is an absolute mess right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, where do you even begin? There's plenty more problems with Formula 1 that we can sort out.
There is plenty. Do you think though that there's, as you said, there's problems with Formula 1 at the moment? Money. Obviously, always keeping that money up, always keeping the sponsorship up. I'm trying to think, almost not from an internal point from the teams, in terms of, more of the, obviously, Bernie Eccleston in the FIA and Charlie White and how they see Formula 1. Do you think that they're trying to fix all of these problems? And also, I'm not saying the ratings. I mean, Formula 1's a massive international sport. I imagine that Sky Sports and Channel 4 and all of these get millions and millions and millions of viewers almost every day when they have something on. But anyway, do you think they're trying to fix their problems by chucking in all of these rules to make it more entertaining for fans? Not that, and thinking that Formula 1 was boring. Unbelievably boring beforehand. Do you think they're just trying to fix everything?
they're trying to. What they're trying to do is that they're trying to save as much money as they can, but also try and make as much money. For example, they've just signed a new Sky F1 deal. From 2019, which will make millions, possibly billions. Which will cancel free F1, which obviously people who can't afford Sky and stuff are going absolutely livid. Like, how am I going to watch Formula 1? You know what I mean? Everyone wants to watch it live.
You'll have to come around mine, JT.
I know Elsie's amazing apartment. I promise I won't sleep this time because Elsie is really boring.
Oh yes, it's my Red Bull knowledge. I was putting them to sleep.
Definitely, because Red Bull.
Oh yes, Red Bull with their team, man.
But then you've got look at compared to Mercedes to Manor. Sponsorships on Mercedes cars, they're the team that are doing well. Let's put all the money and sponsorships on them. We'll get loads of TV deals because they're getting loads of TV rights and stuff. Manor have no sponsors whatsoever, hardly. Hardly. A bit like McLaren, no sponsors.
McLaren had the sponsors, but they've lost them because they're terrible.
They have all the sponsors, but the reason why they haven't got any because at the back of the grid where nobody wants to watch it.
I know, yeah. Exactly.
And look what it was like back in 2004, for example, like Minardi, Jordan, them type of teams were had loads of sponsorships, and they never got showed anything on the telly. It's the same anymore.
I know.
But in terms of saving money as well, they're trying to keep as much money as they can in their pockets. They don't want to bring back refueling because it's too expensive. Why not? We love the drama in refueling. Everybody wants to see it back in Formula 1. Jenson Button, Alonso, Vettel, they all said that we want refueling back. Red Bull, Jackie Stewart was complaining, saying that he didn't like the qualifying. He wants refueling back. Obviously, they can't because it's too expensive and stuff like that. And also, here's another thing as well that I'm absolutely livid about. There's also talk about Monza being dropped from the circuit.
I know it can't happen.
Who in the right mind would drop Monza? Belgium, Silverstone, Monte Carlo, and Monza should all stay there regardless.
If you want to drop races, drop the ones that nobody really, cares too much about.
Obviously, to be fair, I would drop Russia.
Oh.
It's an iffy race. Who's it's is it really necessary? Baku, is Baku really necessary?
Baku, I was going to say, I've never been thrilled about it. Obviously, we had to mention it because it's one of the new things in Formula 1 this year, including the ultra soft tyres and the quali when we mentioned it at first time. No, it's not mentioned. One of the points that they were mentioning was, obviously on the track, it goes past the very ancient, something like a castle or whatever, and obviously the high walls, which are made out of almost sandstone, thousands of years old. That'll be the narrowest part of the track. It's almost like, what are they trying to prove here? We've got these massive circuits. We've got obviously the old circuits like Spa coming, I don't know, in the back end of Spa around the trees, really wide, and then obviously when Abu Dhabi, it was made only about 10 years ago with this very nice asphalt and runoff areas and all that. So why do we need a very narrow corridor in Baku? As JT said, it's about the money, obviously. That's number one. It's number one about everything in life. It has to be, but they aren't needed. Baku maybe isn't needed. It's a good venture for Formula 1. It's good to say that Formula 1 came to Baku, but it's not maybe needed.
It's those races in the Middle East, like Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, where they have money because of all this oil and stuff like that. They're the races that are coming in to then kick Monza out, and it's like, have you seen the passion in that? The passion they have there is second to none. I would love to go to Monza, and then you got young fans like me, Elsie, and a few others who are like 18, maybe 24, 25.
Just a few, just a handful.
Probably. Who want to, obviously you probably can't afford to go at the present time, but want to go to like Monza, Silverstone, Monte Carlo and stuff like that. And eventually, by the time we get to that age where we're like, we can save a few pennies and go, they'll be off the calendar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And again, and that's also getting drifting F1 fans away. Say Monza does get dropped from the calendar, and say you get some new F1 fans in who somehow discover how the new qualifying works and do regulations and stuff. They come in and we go, oh, do you remember Monza? And they're going to go, what's Monza? And the first person that comes to me, they get hit.
What's Formula 1 next? It's like on speed. It's like that speed dating meme. Something like what's Monza? What's Monza? Bye. Next.
Pretty much, it's like exactly just stuff like that. It's like, oh. But really gone off topic, haven't we? We've just like ranting raving about all the racetrack.
Yeah, we have, but it's. I mean, obviously, of course, the new races are good in terms of spectacle, in terms of in terms of seeing them. Obviously, the race under the light in Singapore has always been to me, it's a favourite. I think it was the first ever night race. In 2000, I don't know, 2006, 2007, something like that. But obviously, it was it was loved. It was a tight circuit. It was Monaco at night. It was Monaco at night, and that was amazing. And then obviously you've got, Abu Dhabi. I like that. I don't know. They would be good to go to. Obviously, I'd love to go to Abu Dhabi and I'd love to go to Singapore and all that. But obviously, 110%. There have to be in the calendar those old races like Spa, Monza, Silverstone. Yes, they have to 100%.
It must be. I mean, this should sound something where it'll go like for the next 1,000 years, Spa, Silverstone, and places like that should be on the calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be done. I mean, do you know what we should do, Ashley? We should save up buy Formula 1.
Yeah, we should. I mean, obviously, it was only last year that
we'll give them B12s.
It was only last year, JT, that Bernie Ecclestone was talking to a Chinese investor to buy it for something like $4 billion. But we're close. I mean, what are student loans for, right?
Start.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know why. Oh, you've got to have a kick. He's having a break. He's having a Kit Kat.
We did not pay Kit Kat.
And if no one gets that reference, well, oh god, you shouldn't be. I mean, everyone should be watching the F1 debate show, but make sure you know that reference for next time. But I don't know why they're trying to fix Formula One at the end of the day. Why don't what's the expression? Something like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It isn't broken. Formula One isn't broken. But I'll tell you what it doesn't need. It doesn't need repairs. I'm keeping with this, maintenance reference, but it doesn't need fixing. Just keep it the way it is. Apart from the qualifying, scrap this qualifying. And they came up with this new idea that JT came up with the the average of 2 laps or something like that. Why? I mean, come on. But the thing is, right, JT, public opinion, okay, in everything, in the news, in everything, affects. That is do you know what? That is one of the biggest. That is one of the biggest changes, right? That can affect everything. So how come, everyone, drivers, teams, ex-drivers, as you say, Jackie Stewart. Obviously, I know Nick Lauda said it. Basically every single person in the whole world, including their millions and billions of fans all around the world, have said that they hate this new qualifying rule. So why? How come? By the way, this guy who created it is anonymous because if he releases his name, he'll get egged on the way down the shops. Well,
you're worse than egg, mate.
Well, I would. But I mean, don't they learn? Don't the FIA learn that this isn't the way forward? Everyone hates it. It's public opinion. Everyone hates it, and they are losing fans. Then, do you know what they will realise, JT? Unfortunately, it's the realism, but unfortunately, they will find out when it's too late. They will find out midway through the season when they have lost. It might even be endorsements. It might even be sponsorship. I mean, somebody massive might pull out because they might just think, "What the hell is this rubbish?" And they might pull out and go into something like, the lower formulas, Rallycross, MotoGP, NASCAR, something like that. I mean, they've got all right to. They're interested in money. That's their primary. They're not interested in Formula One, the sponsors. Sometimes they might not even watch it. I mean, the president of Tag Heuer might not even watch Formula One. They're like, Sir Red Bull's doing well in the race. Oh, who cares?
I just send the CEOs or his staff or whatever.
So they're only interested in money, but they have the right to pull out if Formula One gets too boring, and they have people who have done that. I mean, Richard Branson, an example, and it actually goes back to what JC said about nobody wants to watch the back of the grid. Richard Branson was at the back of the grid most of the time, and there was a picture actually of I'm going to share it on the page. I remember seeing it a few months ago, and it was a really good one. It was him in Abu Dhabi. I think it was in 2009 with his cars and obviously with his car sponsorship and all that, getting talked and there was the picture was everyone was laughing, chuckling away. All of the rich Emiratis and the people in Formula One, Bernie, all that. And Richard Branson was stood there and he had a face like sin, and it just showed JT that he hated where he was. He was thinking, right, okay, I've got millions. I'm building a ship that'll go to the moon. Why am I wasting my time in Formula One at the back?
Exactly.
I know. It's
Point proven.
point for case closed. And if
Do not take your hat off. Do not take your hat off.
or it's getting cut, and when it does, I'll take it off because I have a nice head of hair here. So Mr. Eccleston, if you're watching this, change it. And then we've got Richard Branson has told you.
Forget everything we said. 1, subscribe. 2, like the video. Change Formula 1. Okay.
Yeah, yes. So we log on tomorrow and we see Bernie Eccleston subscribe. But as means, by the way, obviously off topic.
We're way off topic.
We so subscribe. Obviously, tell your friends. We are, I think, we're 39 subscriptions.
Like your LC. I have no friends.
And we're 100. We're almost 200 likes. Come on, you've got friends. I think if you're JT, you haven't got any friends, but I hope you're not. If you've got friends, tell them about the F1 Debate Show, and just get them to like. If anything, follow them to the house, break in, log into the computer, subscribe to the F1 Debate Show.
That'd be an amazing meme to make of like somebody breaking in their house and going to the police going, "What are you doing? What are you taking? Tell me everything." No, I'm just gonna go get them to subscribe on the F1 Debate Show.
And by the way, we're gonna have a meme competition because we love memes. A meme a day. I used to say this last year. A meme a day keeps pasta away. But
I made that meme. I made a meme like
did
that.
Did you? I forgot. But yeah, a meme a day keeps the doctor away, if anything. So yeah, just make them all. One final thing. We obviously forgot to mention about Ferrari, about Kimi Raikkonen's amazing second place and Sebastian Vettel's first DNS. But one of the massive things, and this is going to be a weekly thing, by the way, TM, if anyone steals it, we're going to take action. JT has an unbelievable award for the best driver.
Right. By the way, obviously before, in the previous start of the video, we did say that what's it called? Stoffel Van Dorn. I was going to say Pascal Van Dorn. Pascal Van Dorn. I don't know why. Stoffel Van Dorn, obviously driver of the day from the F1 Debate Show. Now in Australia we gave it to Romain Grosjean, which we didn't have a trophy for, but now we have an exclusive F1 Debate Show driver of the day trophy. Even says a little bit backwards there, but hey, you get the gist.
That is like the Hope Diamond. That is just a wonder of the world.
Exactly. I mean, you got. People like Rosberg, Hamilton have been dreaming for a trophy like this. Vettel's won everything except this. This is definitely not a football trophy whatsoever. But so yeah, Pascal.
Come on. I mean, he is worth. Pascal Wehrlein is worth winning, but obviously, there's one driver who stands out.
But anyways, So Stoffel Van Dorn, you have won the Bahrain Grand Prix Driver of the Day from the F1 Debate Show. Now, we do have a little statement from Mr. Van Dorn himself.
Ooh.
He said, "Dear GT and LC, I'm sorry I could not be there, dear. I'm a bit busy as I am flying to Japan or China."
He doesn't know yet.
He doesn't know, but it might say, "Hey, but I might be playing with you." We might know.
Oh yeah, we do. Oh yeah. Tell me though, JT.
I would like to thank my fans, my family, and also Esteban Gutierrez for breaking very late so that Fernando Alonso could hit him.
Nah.
Race here, so P.S. I would like an autograph from you and LC.
Yes.
So there you
that
go.
is what we want.
So Stoffel cannot pick up his water today, but he did leave us a little note. So Stoffel, thank you.
Oh, what an unbelievable guy. Obviously, that's an amazing way. That's an amazing way to finish what's been an eventful weekend in the desert. Now we hope you join us obviously through the week and in the forthcoming weeks for our different F1 debate shows, and obviously the next race, which is in the far east of China at the. Has it got a name? The Chinese circuit, which obviously is a fun circuit, and Nico Rosberg's first win in 2012. So can he can he do that again and then make it 3 straight wins this year, and then 7? I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that. Obviously, this is a record for him.
It's not 6 in a row. I thought it was 5 in.
No, 6.
He won the last. He won the last three races of 2015.
Yeah.
He's won 2 here, so that's 5 in a row.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This will be his 6th.
6, yeah. Oh, well.
Then he'll be 3 away from Vettel and Schumacher.
Yeah.
And if he wins the rest of them. But also, I would like to mention this little bit of a stat. Hamilton has so far got every pole position. And if he continues this form throughout the rest of the season, he will have overtaken, I think it's Michael Schumacher, who's got most 60 odd, I think he's got.
Yeah.
I was reading this out. I did count because you've got 21 races, so obviously Hamilton would have 21 pole positions. And basically, if he keeps on this form, gets every single pole position, he will overtake the great Michael Schumacher this season.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a stat for you.
Oh, that is. We love stats in Formula One, and
Stats and memes.
If we're going to mention about the repairing of Formula One, by the way, it doesn't need repairing. You know, the improvement is if Mr. Etos and things. It doesn't need it, and just look at them stats.
I mean, what we should do, what we'll do, we'll actually do a special video. We'll release it one day. We'll make it. It'll be a rant video about how we've done a little bit of ranting in here before, but we will probably go into it more. So obviously, it's about a certain subject. But we'll do a video about that, and we'll put it on like a segment or something like that for you. And obviously, let's get the word out there. Let's see how. What can we do to make Formula One better? What needs? As the repairing and stuff like that, or whatever. What needs to for it to come back to the way it was? You know?
Obviously, the quality needs unrepairing, if anything. But after that, not really, obviously. But yeah, we'll be making a video specifying the needs of Formula One and to get to. I can't believe we're saying this, but maybe to get fans back, because just as an example, we're not going to mention. We don't talk about other pundits on our channel because we're the best, obviously. But on David Croft, who does Sky Sports F1 UK, he had one of their regular viewers, as they say, stopped watching qualifying. I thought, no, come on, you can't do that. That's not a die-hard F1 fan. But that is true, isn't it, JT? People are all around the world. Some people who, maybe they haven't got Formula One in their blood, but they will be a fan of Formula One, and they'll just think this is beyond ridiculous. What you said about something like the average time, the 2 laps, whatever, that is beyond ridiculous. That's laughable. It's more laughable than the original qualifying. So that needs repairing, and as I say, Formula One needs repairing again to get fans back. I imagine there's a lot of fans that have left.
There is. I've known a few people that it's like, no, I'm not really interested in it. But as I was saying, obviously, the reason why this video is late, I was away at the weekend, and I missed qualifying because the football was on it in the pub where I was staying. They had like a pub bar at the top and stuff like that, and obviously they were watching the football and stuff. I was as well, with a few people not watching, so I missed qualifying. And for the first time since I've probably followed Formula One since about 2010, I wasn't bothered about missing qualifying. You know what I mean? I wanted to watch it because obviously how bad it is. When you're a Formula One fan, you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there going, I'm not bothered. Whereas back in last year, I would have been like, I missed qualifying.
Yeah.
Like, what happens? You know what I mean?
Get to the chopper.
Social media at all costs to watch the highlights and find out who gets pole position. But this time, I'm like, I missed. I watched the race tomorrow. That's more exciting. That's what I'm really bothered about.
Yeah, it was.
Which is heartbreaking because me and Elsie are massive Formula One fans. Die-hard Formula One fans.
We are. Yeah,
it's
amazing. Qualifying. I also missed the end of qualifying. It was something worth missing. If you missed it, it wasn't the end of the world. Obviously, apart from catch up and all that, say they didn't even exist. To find out who was on pole position. By the way, though, Lewis Hamilton's lap, his final lap, just one quick thing to close the show. Lewis Hamilton's final pole lap was amazing. Now he scored a faster time than outpacing the V10s and the V12s. Of yesteryears. So obviously that was amazing. Right, okay, guys, that is the end of the Bahrain review. Now join us through this week and the weeks to come for brand new videos, the F1 debate show, which will be coming to you this week, and different things, obviously in the run-up to round 3 of the 2016 season, which is in the Far East of China. So I'll see you later, guys. Well done, West Indies, for winning the T20. I'll see you later.
You have to bring that up.